complete the questions in your given in your book, and if there is any doubts, get back to me. Just give me a second. Okay, so we have discussed yesterday, last time, until insolvency, sixth question. So from here we're gonna start insolvency, and yesterday also we have discussed about insolvency. So an insolvency means when a person can't able to pay his bills or his liabilities, right? If you see the first line given there, insolvency of a person means that he is unable to pay his liabilities, right? So then we will call him as insolvent. In the books of Dwyer, we will consider him as a bad debt. Okay, in the books of Dwyer, we will consider him as a bad debt. In the books of Dewey, we will transfer to the deficiency account. That's what we have discussed yesterday. Fine. See here, let's just say A sold goods to B for 10,000 rupees, right? And then B cannot able to pay money. So then we'll go for the B estate, that means B properties. By after selling the B properties also, let's just say we are able to realize only 5,000 rupees. Remaining 5,000 rupees we will consider as a bad debt. So normally when we sold goods to B is our debtor, right? What is the general entry you will write? You will write B account debit 10,000 rupees to sales account 10,000 rupees. So we made B as our debtor for 10,000 rupees, right? Now he is paying only 5,000 rupees. Bank account debit 5,000 rupees. Okay, and we are never gonna receive money from him because he became insolvent. He turned out to be an insolvent. So we need to cancel. Did I share my screen? Oh shit. Yeah. Okay. So we are never gonna recover money from him, right? We are never gonna recover money from B. So we need to cancel B to B account 10,000, right? So here I have debited B 10,000, here I have credited B 10,000, so B will be out of our books, but it doesn't tally, right? Here credit you have done 10,000, here debit you have done 10,000. Now we need to make it tally, so that you can write as bad debt. Remaining 5,000 we will write off, we will cancel, right? Bad, we didn't receive any money, we are just writing off, just for the account sake, to make it equal we are writing off. This is called writing off. Bad debt account debit 5,000 rupees to B account. Okay, this is in the books of Dwyer. This is in the books of Dwyer. So let's discuss in the books of Dewey. So when Dewey means here who? B. When B bought goods on credit basis from A, what is the general entry we will write? Purchases account debit to creditor account, which is A, to A account 10,000, 10,000. Okay. Now he does not have money to pay 10,000, he have only 5,000 rupees to pay, right? So to bank account 5,000 rupees, to bank account 5,000 rupees. But we made A as our creditor for 10,000 rupees, so we need to cancel it. So because we are, creditor means a liability, we are liable to pay, we are never gonna pay because we don't have any money, so we need to cancel it. So to cancel it I will debit it, A account debit 10,000. So you have debited 10,000 but you credited only 5,000. Again I need to write it off. I'll create a new account called as deficiency account. I'm going to transfer that remaining balance which drawee cannot pay, which is 5,000, to a account called as deficiency account. Okay, so this is what we have discussed yesterday. Now based on this we're going to do problems. Let's check out problem number 7. Mr. David draws two bills of exchange on 1/1/2020 for 6,000 rupees and 10,000 rupees. Okay, so let's call B1 6,000, B2 10,000 rupees. Alright, the bills of exchange for 6,000 is for 2 months, while the bills of exchange is for 3 months. Let's write that all the information. So B1 is for 2 months and then B2 is for 3 months. These bills are accepted by Mr. Thomas. So that means David here is drawer and then Thomas is drawee, right? Because it is drawn on Thomas and Thomas accepted it. Thomas is drawee. On 4/3/2020, Mr. Thomas requests David to renew the first bill with an interest of 18% per annum for a period of 2 months. Okay, so the first bill is renewed. Renewed means what is the procedure? First cancel the old bill, then write a fresh bill. Cancellation of the old bill means what is the general entry? Same general entry as dishonor. Writing a fresh bill, normal entry. When you draw a bill, what is the general entry? Right, bills receivable account debit to debtor account, same thing. Fine. So we are renewing, we means David is renewing the first bill for another 2 months. Okay, at the 18% interest. Okay, renewed 18% 2 months for 2 months. Okay, Mr. David agrees to this proposal. Fine. On 23/2020, Mr. Thomas retires the acceptancy for 10,000. Okay, here see the second bill. Normally the first bill is second bill, right? So the bill is drawn on 1/1/2020. Two bills are drawn on 1/1/2020. The second bill is drawn for how many months? 3 months. What is the due date? 1st April. Right? 1st April is the due date. But here we are getting payment on 23/2020 only. We are getting the payment before the due date. Right? So first bill is renewal. He couldn't able to pay on the due date, so he is asking for the extension. Okay, for extension for 2 months. The second bill he is paying early, so second bill is retirement. So since he is paying early, we are giving him discount. Discount is how much? 100. Okay, then here full stop is there. Observe, before the due date of the renewed bill, Mr. Thomas became insolvent and only 50 paisa in a rupee could be recovered from his estate. Okay, the first bill is for how much? First bill is for 6,000, right? So on the due date he couldn't pay, right? Then we have renewed for another 2 months, right? Before the due date of the renewed bill, okay, he became insolvent. We can recover only for 50 paisa. That means we can recover only 3,000 rupees from him. Okay, let's check out the dates then. On 1/1/2020, we have drawn a bill. Okay, first bill. We have drawn a first bill on 1/1/2020. Second bill also 1/1/2020 only, but first bill is for 2 months. Then when is the due date? When is the due date? It is due on 4/3/2020. But did he pay the money? No. He asked for renewal again for 2 months. So then when it will become the due date? So it will become due on for another 2 months. So can I say that Yeah, so 4 5 2020, and if you add grace days means 3 days, so it will become 7 5 2020 is the due date. But did he pay the money on this due date at least? No, because here before the due date only he became insolvent. Thomas became insolvent, and only 50 paisa can be recovered from his estate. So for all this information, we just understood the question. Okay, first thing you have to do is understand the question, then you need to pass a general entries. Let's pass a general entries now. Okay, so in whose books we need to pass a general entry? We need to pass a general entries in the books of David, that means in the books of Drawer. Okay, let's do that then. In the books of Mr. David. Okay, so here first what he has done, on 1/1/2020 he has drawn a bill. 1/1/2020 he has drawn two bills on Mr. Thomas, and Thomas also accepted. So bill 1 account debit, bills receivable account debit. Okay, so you can write bills receivable account debit. So I'm just for our understanding I'm putting as one first bills receivable. This is 6,000 rupees. Then second bills receivable account debit 10,000 rupees. Okay, to debtor account. So who is debtor here? Thomas. To Mr. Thomas account. Thomas account 16,000. Okay, now so this bill is for 3 months. Sorry, bills receivable is for the first bill is for 2 months, second bill is for 3 months. On the due date will be for the first bill is 4/3/2020, but we didn't receive any money. Thomas asked for renewal for another 2 months. Okay, so what we are doing is we are cancelling the old bill. So because David accepted for renewal if he pays 18% interest. Okay, so first we need to cancel the old bill. So let's cancel it. Thomas account debit, okay, which is 6,000 rupees, to bills receivable account 6,000 rupees. Okay, so this is for cancellation. This is for cancellation of old bill. Then what should we do? We have to draw a new bill. So let's draw one new bill on same date 4/3/2020 only. We are drawing a new bill. In the question they didn't mention that we have received the interest, right? In the question they didn't mention that Thomas is paying interest. So what we're going to do is we're going to include the interest in the bills receivable value only. How much is the interest? So we are extending for another 2 months. So 6,000 into 18% into 2/12. How much it will be? Take a calculator and do it. So it will become 180 rupees. So interest is 180 rupees. So we are not receiving the interest yet. The Thomas didn't pay this interest. So I'm going to write a new bill now. Bills receivable account. Let's number it as third one. Debit, not for 6,000, for 6,180 rupees. Okay. And then Thomas is our debtor as usual, because we made Thomas as our debtor previously. Now I want to cancel him as my debtor because I am writing a bill on him. Thomas account for 6,000 only, right? Then to interest account. Interest is an income. Income shows credit balance. So I'm gonna credit 180 rupees. Then So what I have done here, I have cancelled the old bill, I have written a new bill. So basically my renewal of a bill is over, right? The first one, renewal is over. Then come to the second one. In second one, what's happening? Retirement is happening. In the second one, retirement, right? Okay. So on 23/2020, we are receiving the money. And then since we are receiving money earlier than the due date, so we don't need to calculate how earlier than you are receiving and all. Normally you will calculate to find out the discount. Now they have given the discount in the question itself. So on 23/2020, bank account debit 9,900, discount allowed, right, for us. So it is an expenses shows debit balance. So discount account debit 100. Okay, previously when we have drawn a second bill, we have debited the second bill. Now we are receiving money for it, so we need to cancel that. To cancel it, I'm gonna credit it to bills receivable account. Okay, 10,000. Fine. Then I have drawn a new bill, I have renewed a bill for another 2 months right here. So due date will be 7/5/2020. On that I am supposed to receive the money, but this Thomas turned out to be insolvent. We can able to recover only 50 paise. Okay, we can able to recover only 50 paise. So first thing what you have to do is, whenever the drawee turns out to be an insolvent, you need to consider it as a dishonor, right? So when you have drawn a bill, what you have written, bills receivable account debit 6,180, okay, to Thomas account 6,000. So now we are not going to receive money from him, right? But you have drawn a bill for 6,180. Now we are not going to receive money from him, so I'm going to cancel that. So we need to consider that as a dishonor. I need to cancel whatever I have written. Okay, so Thomas will become our debtor again, because then only I can make Thomas as my bad debt, right? So here you have credited Thomas. Just give me a second. Yeah. So here you have credited Thomas. That means you have cancelled him as your debtor. When you have drawn a fresh bill, you have cancelled him as your debtor. Now you need to opposite. You need to do opposite. You need to write a dishonor general entry, because he will become our debtor again. Then only I can make him as my bad debtor. If he is not a debtor, how can I make him as a bad debtor, right? So Thomas account debit. Remember, now he will become our debtor for 6,180 rupees, not for 6,000 rupees, because he has to pay interest also. See, if you written a due entry for interest, what do you write? Thomas account debit 180 to interest account 180. You are debiting Thomas, right? So you would have made debtor for Thomas for interest also. So Thomas will become our debtor for not 6,000 rupees. He will become our debtor for 6,180 rupees. Okay, Thomas account debit to bills receivable account 6,180. Here I have made a new bill for 6,180, right? Third bill, renewed bill. Here I have debited, here I am crediting it. And then because of this general entry, because of this dishonor general entry, Thomas became my debtor again for 6,180 rupees. Thomas became my debtor again for 6,180 rupees. But am I receiving 6,180 rupees from him? No. I am receiving only 50%. So bank account debit 3090 rupees. Okay, remaining, for remaining money, whatever I couldn't able to receive, that I will be transferring to bad debts. Bad debts account debit 3090 rupees to Thomas account 6180. So here you have debited Thomas. Now here you have credited Thomas. So Thomas is out of our books. So by this we are done with the illustration 7. Let's check out the illustration 8. Rita owed 1 lakh to Siriman. Okay, Rita owed 1 lakh to Siriman on 1st October 2019. So probably they would have written Simran, I guess. On 1st October 2019, Rita accepted bill drawn by Siriman for the amount of 3 months. Okay, let's understand until now, until full stop. So what happened? Rita owed to Siriman. That means Rita has to pay money to Siriman. How much? 1 lakh. So that's why, since Rita has to pay money to Siriman, on 1st October 2019, Rita accepted a bill drawn by Siriman. So from this we can understand, so Siriman is drawer, Rita is drawee, and the bill is drawn for 1 lakh rupees, and then tenure is for 3 months. Fine. Then Siriman got the bill discounted with his bank for 99,000 on 3rd October 2019. The bill drawn on this date, and then Siriman is the drawer, right? So Siriman also is the holder of the bill. So she went to the bank and then got discounted for 99,000. Then before the due date, Rita approached. Okay, what is the due date here? On 1st October the bill is drawn for 3 months. What is the due date? What is the due date?
1st Jan or 4th Jan.
Okay, 4th Jan is the due date. Now before that only, Rita approached Siriman for renewal of the bill. They didn't give a date when she approached. Okay, Siriman agreed on that condition. 50,000 will be paid immediately, together with an interest on the remaining amount at 12% per annum for 3 months, and for the balance. Okay, see here, if you observe, Siriman already discounted bill with the bank, right? Normally bank will go to the Rita. Bank will go to the Rita on due date to collect the money. But here, before the due date itself, Rita is approaching to Siriman for renewal of the bill. So that means the discounted bill, whatever the bill is discounted by Siriman with the bank, is dishonored, right? So the Siriman has to pay money to the bank on the due date. That is for sure. Then here, while renewing, there is a condition that Siriman should receive 50,000 from Rita. Siriman agreed on that condition that 50,000 should be paid immediately, together with the interest. Together with the interest on the remaining amount on 12% per annum for 3 months. Okay, so that means 50,000, remaining amount means 50,000 only, right? 50,000 into 12% into 3 divided by 12. So 50,000 plus into 12% into 3 divided by 12, you will get 1,500. Okay, so 50,000 plus 1,500 immediately Rita should pay. Total 51,500 Rita should pay. Then only Siriman agreed for the renewal. Okay, so the new bill paid immediately with the interest, remaining amount Rita should accept a new bill for 3 months. Okay, so if Rita pay this money, then only renewal will be there. Okay, then for whatever the remaining amount, what is remaining amount? Remaining amount is 50,000, right? For 50,000, Rita is Simran is getting right now, and also interest we are getting. So remaining balance means 50,000. So here, and for the balance, Rita should accept a new bill for 3 months. These arrangements were carried out, but afterwards Rita became insolvent. Okay, Rita became insolvent, and we are able to receive only 40% from his estate. Past journal entries with narration in the books of Seriman. Okay, let's try to write all these journal entries. One by one. Okay, first what happened? Simran drawn a bill. On just a second. On which books we are writing? We are writing in the books of Siriban. That means in the books of Drawer. So in the books of Drawer, let's consider it as Simran. Okay, so here Simran drawn a bill on Rita. So bills receivable account debit 1 lakh. 2, I'm cancelling Rita as my debtor, so I'm writing in the credit side 1 lakh rupees. ₹1,00,000, right? When do we write this journal entry? When the bill is drawn. When the bill is drawn. Okay. Then what happened? Check out the question. So second thing, Siriman got the bill discounted with his bank for 99,000. So what is the general entry we will write when the bill is discounted? Bank account debit. Bank account debit 99,000. Alright. Discount account debit 1,000. Then 2, bills receivable account, because bills receivable I am crediting it because it is going out to the bank. Okay, now before the due date, if you read the question, before the due date Rita approached here from here. Before the due date, Rita approached Simran for renewal of the bill. That means whatever the bill discounted by Simran with the bank is dishonored. So that means Simran only has to pay money to the bank. So let's write that. So this is when the bill is discounted in narration. With the bank, when the bill is discounted with the bank. Then third one. So we need to dishonor the bill. Okay. So dishonor the bill means a discounted bill is dishonored. What should I do? I will make Rita as my debtor again for 1 lakh rupees. Okay, for 1 lakh rupees, and then whatever the money I have taken from the bank, I need to pay it back, including the discount. So to bank account 1 lakh rupees. So when do we write this journal entry? When discounted bill is dishonored. So you write narration fully, and it is given in the study material anyway. Yeah, next one. So discounted bill is dishonored, and then we mean Simran paid money to the bank. Now we'll come back to the renewal. Renewal means what? Cancellation of the old bill and then writing a fresh bill, right? So here the bill is already cancelled, right? The bill is already cancelled, so you don't need to write again. So you draw a fresh bill, okay? But before the drawing a fresh bill, we are collecting 50,000 from Rita, isn't it? We are collecting 50,000 from Rita. So including the interest, bank account debit 51,500 to Rita account 51,500. Okay. So before that, here for Rita we have made as our debtor for 1 lakh only. Okay. But here we are crediting for 51,500. So it is not 1 lakh minus 51,500. So let's make Rita as our debtor here. Write it here. Let's make Rita as our debtor for interest also. So Rita account debit 1,500 to interest account. Interest account 1,500. So Rita will become our debtor for, see here Rita you have debited for 1 lakh. Here you have debited for 1,500. So 1 lakh 1,500, right? 1 lakh 1,500. She will become our debtor for 1 lakh 1,500, and then now you are crediting for 51,500 because you have received from her. Okay. So you have received including the interest. So now how much she will be remaining? 50,000 only. She will be remaining as our debtor for 50,000. Now she will be remaining as my debtor for only 50,000. Are you guys understanding here? So for that 50,000, what I am doing is I am drawing a fresh bill. So bills receivable account debit 50,000 to Rita account 50,000. Okay. Then again she became insolvent. So whenever she became insolvent, obviously she could not pay. So this will be dishonored. The bill will become dishonored. She will become my debtor again. So that's why I can make her as a bad debtor. To bills receivable account 50,000. So I can recover only 40%. Right? That's what they have given in the question. We can recover only 40%. So 50,000 into 40%, you will get 20,000. So I can recover from Rita 40%, which is 20,000 rupees only. Bank account debit 20,000, but I made her as my debtor for 50,000. Okay, I need to cancel her as my debtor. So to cancel it, previously I have debited and now I will credit it to Rita account 50,000. Right? Then remaining balance I will write it off as a bad debt account debit 30,000. I will make her as my bad debt, and then Rita is out of our books. Any doubt in this? So just if you try to by heart it and all, it's very complicated. Just go according to the question. Just according to the question you have to write the answer. Okay, and the answer can be different from your book, whatever they have given. It need not to be the exact one. Okay, you can sometimes you can write as a combining entry, sometimes you can separate it, it's fine, but as long as you are writing correctly, it's fine. Any doubt in this entire question? Anybody?
No, sir.
Okay, last concept, accommodation of bills. Okay, accommodation of bills. So in this accommodation of bills, please do concentrate. So basically, the first what we have discussed, seller will sell goods on credit basis. As a proof, seller will draw a bill on buyer. Buyer will accept it. For seller, it will become bills receivable. For buyer, it will become bills payable. And then we are doing entire these things for what? To promote the credit sales, right? Now, some people can use this concept to solve their financial needs, right? We can use the same concept to solve the financial needs. How can they do that? Okay, so let's take Sam drawn a bill on Raj, right? So Sam drawn a bill on Raj. So Sam will become drawer. For Sam, it will become bills receivable. For Raj, it will become bills payable. But actually, there is no sale transaction or purchase transaction between them. They know each other. Assume that they know each other. And Sam requires some money. Sam requires 10,000 rupees. Raj does not have money. So what Sam drawn a bill on Raj for 10,000 rupees. The bill value is what? 10,000 rupees. Okay. So Sam drawn a bill on 1st January. And then for Sam it will become bills receivable for 10,000 rupees. So Sam immediately will go to the bank on 1st January only. And then Sam will give that bill to the HDFC bank, and HDFC bank, let's just say, pay 9,900 rupees. Pay 9,900 rupees. 100 rupees is a discount for the Sam. On the due date, right, HDFC will go and ask Raj for 9,900 rupees. Okay. Then Sam here, Sam will pay that 9,900 to the Raj. Okay. And then Raj will pay that 9,900 to the bank. So with all these things, right, what did we understand? Let's just say the due date is like, Raj is paying the money on 1st April. So Sam is spending 100 rupees money, fine. But Sam is getting 9,900 rupees on 1st January. Okay, I'm sorry, here it's not 9,900, it is 10,000 rupees, because to the bank we need to pay with the discounting charges, right? With the discounting charges, so it is 10,000. Yeah. So here Sam is getting money on 1st January, and then she is how much? 9,900. She is using that money on 1st April. Until 1st April, she is using that money, right? So she has some financial need, and instead of maybe sometimes it's a little bit difficult to get the bank loan immediately, right? Now she is enjoying for 3 months 9,900 rupees, and then she is incurring cost anyway 100 rupees, and then she is paying back on due date. So this concept is called accommodation of the bills of exchange. So when do we call it as accommodation? When there is no underlying sale transaction or purchase transaction, when the bills are drawn just to satisfy the financial needs of that particular person. Okay. Then we call it as accommodation. Now it may look simple now, right? But now the real question here, on the due date on 1st April, HDFC bank will go and ask Raj for money, right? Obviously Raj will pay to the HDFC bank only when Sam pays, right? On the due date, Sam didn't pay. Sam didn't pay. Then Raj will dishonor that bill, right? It will become whatever the bill accommodated, it will become dishonored. Okay. So then Raj also will draw one new bill on Sam. I know it might be a little bit confusing now, so stay with me. Raj will draw, let's call it as B2. So now for Raj it will become bills receivable. Okay, for Raj it will become bills receivable, and then for Sam it will become bills payable. Okay, then Raj will go, just for the sake of understanding, let's take another bank. Okay, you can take HDFC Bank also. Let's take another bank, right? Raj will go to the bank and then discount that bill. Okay, the second bill, discount, because for Raj it is bills receivable, for Sam that was bills payable. Let's call that as bills payable too. Okay, so Raj will get 10,000 rupees. With that, HDFC will be paid, HDFC will be out of the picture. Then now this Sam has to pay to this Kotak Bank. Understood? So this is one way. Another way is, let's just say Sam requires 5,000 rupees, Raj requires 5,000 rupees. Okay, when the bill is drawn, Sam drawn a bill for 10,000 rupees on Raj, and then Sam discounted that bill with HDFC Bank for 10,000 rupees and received 9,900 rupees. Okay, so out of 9,900 rupees, Sam will take 4,400 rupees. Okay, just a sec. So not 4,400 rupees, 4,950 rupees, and then, well, actually they take only 4,950 rupees. 4,950 rupees, right? Totally they got 9,900 rupees, right? Out of 9,900 rupees, Sam is taking 4,950. This is another scenario. Sam is taking 4,950, Raj is taking 4,950. Okay, now on the due date, HDFC Bank will come to the Raj. Then Raj has to make his cut, including the discounting charges has to be shared, right? Discounting charges is 100 rupees. That means Raj has to pay 50 rupees discounting charges, Sam has to pay 50 rupees discounting charges. So Raj has to pay his cut. His cut is about 5,000. Then Sam will pay her cut, which is 5,000. So total 10,000 will be paid to the HDFC Bank. Again, if it is dishonored, again the second bill will be drawn. It will be going to the another bank. The same story again. Okay, you will understand this better when we do the questions. Are you guys understood this thing? How many questions? 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Let's check out the next question. On 1st July 2019, George drew a bill for 1,80,000 for 3 months on Harry for mutual accommodation. That means there is no purchase or sale transaction. Okay, so here George draw a bill, so George will become drawer and Harry will become a drawee. This question will be incredibly complicated, so please listen carefully. So I'm gonna write everything separately from now on. So George is drawer, and then he drawn a bill. He drawn a bill on whom? Harry. Harry. Okay, so drawee. and then for him this is bills payable. For him it is a bills receivable. Okay, and it is for 3 months, and it is drawn for 1,80,000. Okay, then come back to the question. So we are done until this. Harry accepted the bills of exchange. Fine. Now George had purchased goods worth 1,81,000 from Jack on the same date. Okay, let's write that as well. So here George purchased goods from Jack for how much? For 1,81,000. Right? We need to pay money to the Jack. Who is need to pay money to Jack? George has to pay money to the Jack. Right? Because George purchased goods from him. Then instead of paying money, what George done? George endorsed Harry's acceptancy to Jack in full settlement. That means here George has a bills receivable with him. How much bills receivable worth? 1,80,000. Okay. So George endorsed that bill on to Jack for full settlement. That means 1,000 rupees is discount. Endorsed. Okay, bills receivable for full settlement. Okay, fine. Now on 1st September 2019, Jack purchased goods 1,90,000 worth from Harry. Okay, before discussing this, let's discuss the effect of this. So here George drawn a bill on Harry, right? So is there any purchase goods or sale goods? No, that is just for a mutual accommodation. Okay, so George required some money, so that's why George drawn a bill for 1,80,000. Here George purchased goods from Jack. Instead of paying money, George endorsed that bill to Jack. Then on the due date, Jack is supposed to go to the Harry and get that money, right? Jack will go to the Harry to get that money. Okay, that is the effect of this on the due date. Okay, when is the due date normally? So the bill is drawn on 1st July 2019 for 3 months. Okay, 1st July to 1st August, 1st August to 1st September, 1st September to 1st October. Okay, 1st October, so if you add the grace days, it will become 4th October. Okay, on 4th October will be the due date. On the due date, Jack will go to the Harry and then will collect the money, right? That is supposed to happen. But on 1st September itself, see here, not October, on 1st September itself, Jack purchased goods 1 lakh worth 1,90,000 from Harry. Okay, so come back to this here. Jack purchased goods 1,91,000 from Harry. 1,91,000 from whom? From Harry, right? Okay. Normally, Harry has to pay 1,80,000 to Jack. Now, the Jack also has to pay 1,91,000 to Harry. Okay, let's check. Then, one more thing. Then, Jack endorsed the bills exchange received from George to Harry and paid him 9,000 in full settlement of the amount due to Harry. Okay, concentrate here. According to the concept, what should happen? So normally, if this purchase is not there, normally this Harry has to pay 1,80,000 rupees to Jack, and then this George has to pay 1,80,000 to Harry. Then Harry will pay that to Jack, right? But here Jack purchased goods from Harry 1,91,000 rupees. Okay, 1,91,000 rupees. So then what happened? So anyway, Harry has to pay Jack 1,80,000 and Jack has to pay 1,91,000. So then what Jack did here? Instead of paying money to the Harry, because Jack purchased goods 1,91,000, right? The same bill he endorsed, right? The same bill endorsed. Same bill endorsed to Harry. See here, Harry has to pay Harry only. Right? Normally, if he who is endorsing, Jack is endorsing to Harry. Right? If there is some other person, Harry will go to that other person, collect the money. Right? That endorsee is Harry only here. Right? Harry has to collect money from himself only. Right? The same bills receivable is given to the Harry only. So what Harry done? Okay, out of 1,91,000, take out 1,80,000. Okay, 1,91,000 minus 1,80,000. How much will be remaining? 11,000 will be remaining. Right? It is 1,91,000 or 1,90,000?
1,90,000.
Okay, sorry. So 1,90,000. 1,90,000. So Harry has to collect from himself 1,80,000. On the due date, Harry has to collect himself 1,80,000. Okay. So he'll say, okay, 1,90,000 minus 1,80,000, and then 10,000. And then 10,000 he has to yet to collect money from Jack. But he collected only 9,000 as a full settlement in the cash. So 1,000 rupees he gave a discount. To whom? To Jack. Okay. Out of all this transaction, here George has to pay money to 1,80,000 still. Okay. Next. I know you might have been confused, so please do stay with me. If you have any doubt, ask me. Then.
Once again, sir. Hello.
Yeah.
Sir, Jack has given this 1,80,000 endorsed rate to Harry.
Harry, yes.
That will rate.
Sorry, what?
That same will rate.
That same bill, yes, the same bill.
Right.
So normally, if the Jack endorsed some other bill, no. What was the situation? On the due date, Harry will go to that particular person to collect the money. Now, that person, the person who has to pay itself, Harry only. Right? So Harry cannot collect money from himself, right? So obviously it's like, it's cancelled. So it's like Harry has one bills payable, right? Here we have discussed 1,80,000. Okay. Now Harry is getting one more bills receivable. From where is getting bills receivable? From Jack, because Jack endorsed 1,80,000. So both will get cancelled.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, now next. It's not over yet. It's still there. And just give me a second. Is there any CMA guys out there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Just give me a second. Hmm?
106.
What?
106 page number.
0.06 ah? 106 ah?
Right, yeah.
106.
Yes. So that accommodation will lecture.
Okay, so how many questions they have given? Because they would have given only basic one, so that's why
Okay.
I want you to know. Because here in
3-4 questions.
okay, they did give a little bit complicated. Okay, they did give here also. In CA also the same questions they're given 3 times. So I just thought, if it is not given for you, so it's unnecessary, yeah. So because this is a little bit complicated, right? So some people might feel that why do I need to learn if it is not given. So actually, if it is not given or not, because the concept is there, but here the questions they might ask in a complicated way, but I think the same kind of questions are asking for you also. So yeah, you can listen them.
But it is good to learn.
Yeah, it is good to learn, because if you're able to solve, that's what I'm telling. So don't concentrate whether it is CA book or CMA book. If you are able to solve CA book, even when the class is over, open the study material of CA, do it, because CA book is given very properly. They have explained in a very detailed way also. If you compare to the CMA book, you can't learn anything from CMA study material. Okay, but if you do this, if you learn this CA material, and then you go to the exam, I guarantee you that you 100% clear the exam. Okay, yeah. So that's why first do the CA material. If you're able to do the CA material, you can just check the questions in your CMA. That it will be that easy. Yeah. Now come back to this. So we are done with until the full settlement of the amount due to Harry. Okay, so Jack endorsed the bill to Harry. Now from here we need to do last one. Just one more complication. On 1st October 2019, Harry purchased goods 2 lakh from George. Harry paid the amount due to George by check. Give the necessary journal entries. Okay. So finally, so normally what should happen? George has to pay 1,80,000 to Harry, right? Now, here Harry purchased goods from George. Now Harry has to pay 2 lakh rupees to George. Anyway, George has to pay 1,80,000 and then Harry has to pay 2 lakh rupees. So instead of that, George will pay 20,000 rupees and then it's done. Understood? Now, we will write each and everything we will put each and everything whatever we have discussed in the form of journal entries. First, George drawn a bill on Harry. Okay, and then they are asking you to write in the books of Harry and George. So we will pick first in the books of Drawer. Drawer is whom? George. So let's write in the books of George. I'm gonna write in this one. So yeah, in the books of George. I know they have given G O or G, doesn't make any sense, so I'm calling it as George. Okay. So George drawn a bill on Harry. So what is the general entry when the bill is drawn? Bills receivable account debit 1,80,000. For how much we have drawn? 1,80,000. So 1,80,000 to Harry account. Anybody has any doubt in this? In this entry? No, right? This is a normal bills receivable account debit to debtor account. So when the bill is drawn, then what George did? So first he drawn a bill, then George discounted bill with the, sorry, not discounted, endorsed bill with the job. Why did George endorse bill with the job? Because George purchased goods worth of 1,81,000. So let's write a general entry for that. Let's write a general entry for that. Second one. Purchases account debit 1,81,000 to Jack is our creditor because George purchased goods on credit basis from Jack. 1,81,000 rupees. Normally, if you pay cash, it will be Jack account debit to cash account. Goods purchased on credit basis. I hope you know how to write a narration. Okay, then instead, if you pay cash, Jack account debit to cash account, but we are not paying cash. We are giving him our bills receivable. So basically, we are endorsing him our bills receivable. Our bills receivable value is only 1,80,000. Okay, so but Jack is our creditor for 1,81,000. Okay, so Jack account debit to bills receivable account 1,80,000. Then remaining is discount received. To discount received. Received is a discount received is income. Income shows credit balance. So I'm crediting it 1,000. When do you write this? When the bill is endorsed. When the bill is endorsed. Now, what else happened? Then again, Jack purchased goods from Harry. Do we need to write this transaction in the books of George? No, leave it. Then again, Jack endorsed the bill to Harry. Again, we don't need to write it. Okay, so leave it. But here, Harry purchased goods from George for 2 lakh rupees. So this, you need to write this in the books of George. So basically, Harry purchased goods from George. That means Harry sold the goods. Sorry. George sold the goods to Harry. Harry purchased goods from George. So that means we are writing in the books of George. So George sold the goods to Harry. Harry will become our debtor. Harry account debit. Okay, 2 lakh rupees to sales account. 2 lakh rupees. Okay, now come back to our concept which we have discussed. See here, George anyway has to pay 1,80,000 to Harry. Why George has to pay? Because there is no transaction. There is no transaction here. There is no actual transaction. So George needed money, so he just drawn a bill on Harry. So if the bill has to be honored, first George has to pay money to the Harry, then only the bill will be honored, right? So here George has to pay 1,80,000 and then Harry has to pay 2 lakh rupees. So instead of that, it is settled 20,000 rupees. So here if you check out the question, in the question what did they mention? Harry paid the amount due to the George by check. So how much amount due? 20,000. So then the general entry will be Harry bank account. Harry paid. So that means we are receiving. Bank account, he paid through check. So that's why I'm using bank account. Debit, okay, to Harry account. $20,000. Okay. So we have adjusted the bills of exchange here. Okay, if you see here, the same bill we have debited here, okay, and then same bill we have credited here. The bill is also gone, but actually there is no actual bill. This is all just one transaction. So we need to pay money to the George if you want this fake bill to be honored. So we paid the we received the remaining actually. So Harry purchased goods worth of 2 lakh rupees. So that 1,80,000 is adjusted. So right in the 1,80,000 is adjusted. Okay, now check out in the books of Harry. That means in the books of Droy. So here, first thing, George drawn a bill on Harry, right? So for Harry it will become bills payable, 2 bills payable account. How much? 1,80,000. Okay, and then George, because normally George would have been our creditor, so we need to cancel it, so we will debit it. George account debit to bills payable account, 1,80,000. Okay, then what happened? Jock purchased goods from Harry. Jock purchased goods from Harry. We are writing in the books of Harry. So for Harry it is sales. Okay, write that general entry. So this is when the bills are accepted. When the bill is drawn and accepted. Next one, second one. Harry sold goods to Jock. Jock will become our debtor. So Jock account debit. For how much we sold? 1,90,000 to sales account. 1,90,000. Jock account debit to sales account 1,90,000. Then third one. So here normally we are supposed to collect from Jock, but here Jock is not giving money. He is giving a bills receivable to us. So we are receiving one bills receivable. Okay. Bills receivable account debit. This you can write narration when the sales are made, when the goods sold on credit basis, or you can write like that. Okay, bills receivable. Here Jock, instead of paying money, he gave us bills receivable. So we are receiving bills receivable worth of 1,80,000. But actually he is our debtor for 1,90,000. So he is paying in cash 9,000 rupees as a full settlement. So he is paying cash to us. So that means we are receiving money. So bank account debit 9,000 rupees. Alright. Then actually it is 1,90,000 debit. Okay. We need to cancel the Jock. So to Jock account, because he endorsed the bill, so he is no longer our debtor. 1,90,000. So far you have debited 1,89,000 only. That means remaining 1,000 rupees is a discount allowed. Account debit 1,000 rupees. Okay, this is what happened. Now here, like I said, Harry got one bills receivable from Jock, and then Harry has one bills payable, right? Harry has one bills payable which Harry is supposed to pay to Jack. Okay, and then Harry has one bills receivable which he is supposed to receive from himself only, right? So he has one bills receivable, one bills payable. Bill is same, so that's why it is automatically will get cancelled. Okay, so we need to cancel that 1,80,000 rupees bill. So what I'm gonna do is bills receivable shows debit balance normally, right? So I need to cancel it. To credit it, to cancel it, I'm gonna credit it to bills payable account, 1,80,000. And then bills payable shows credit balance because it is a liability. Now to cancel it, I'm gonna debit it. Wait. This is bills receivable. Yeah, bills payable account debit 1,80,000. So that 1,80,000 bill is gone. Okay. Next, Harry purchased goods from George, right, for 2 lakhs. So purchases account debit 2 lakh to George will become our creditor. George account 2 lakh, right? Then we are paying him only 20,000 rupees. Okay, we are settling his account by paying only 20,000 rupees. What about the remaining 1,80,000? Because that is he is supposed to pay to us anyway. George account debit to bank account 20,000, and then done. Okay, next question. I hope everybody got clear on this. No doubt. Illustration 10, the same mutual accommodation one only.
The bill payable and bills receivable transaction.
Harry has one bills payable,
Okay.
right? And Harry also has one bills receivable. So that bills receivable is also for 1,80,000 only. Bills payable also 1,80,000 only. And that is the same bill, right? That is not a different bill. That is the same bill. So that's why it got cancelled, both of them. Here it is supposed to be here. Both will be cancelled. And then bills payable is a liability. Liability shows credit balance. Okay. Now you are debiting it because you want to cancel as a bills payable. You don't need to pay any. And you don't need to means Harry point of view, right? Harry does not need to pay to Jack. Okay. And then Harry has a one bills receivable, okay, from himself. So basically that for 1,80,000 only. So that bills receivable and bills payable will automatically get cancelled. Bills receivable is an asset, asset shows debit balance. Now you want to cancel it, so I have credited it. Whenever you want to cancel things, do opposite what it was been. It was in credit, then do debit. It was in debit, then do credit. Then automatically it will become cancel. Then illustration 10. Okay, this is also same kind of question. So pay attention. For mutual accommodation X and Y on 1st April 2019, X drew a 4 months bill on Y for 4,000. Okay, fine. Again write all those things. What happened? X drew a bill on Y for 4 months. Right, so for X it will become bills receivable, for Y it will become bills payable. Okay, for how much? For 4,000 rupees. Okay, let's come back to the question. And then Y accepted it and returned it back to the X on the same date. Fine. Now X discount the bill from the bankers at 6% per annum Now how do we calculate this 6% per annum? So 4,000 into 6% into for how many months? So that many months you need to write it, and then okay, we'll do that while doing the question. Yeah, and remit 50% of the proceeds to Y on the due date. 50% of the proceeds to Y. Okay, let's do this then. So when the bill is drawn on 1st April 2019. Okay, and then X discount the bill from the bankers also on the same date, because they didn't give any other date. The bill is maturities for how many months? For 4 months, right? So that means after the 4 months, the bank will go to the drawee and collect the money. So the discount charges should be applicable for 4 months. Like it's like, if you take a loan from the bank, you have to pay the interest for the how many months you have taken, right? Here also the same. So bank is giving you money to you for 4 months. Okay, after the 4 months, bank is getting their money back. So either it is from drawer or drawee, it doesn't matter. So now 4,000 into 6% into 4 divided by 12. So do that. How much you gonna get? Okay. So you're gonna get 80 rupees. So discount charges is 80 rupees. Okay. So after discounting, you might be receiving 3,920 rupees from the bank. Okay. Now, who drawn a bill? X drawn a bill. Who discounted the bill? X discounted the bill. So X discounted bill with the bank, and from the bank X received 3,920 rupees. Out of this 3,920, 50 rupees, sorry, 50% is given to the Y. Okay, 50% is given to the Y. So basically 3,920 divided by 2. So 1960 was given to Y. Okay, but while paying, Y has to pay 2,000 rupees, because totally discounting charges is 80 rupees, right? So X will bear 40 rupees discounting. X also is ultimately receiving 1960 only. X is getting 1960 rupees in cash, and then Y is getting 1960 rupees, and then both they has to add 40 rupees this guy, and then this guy also has to add 40 rupees, then it will become 2,000 and 2,000. Total 4,000 should be paid to the bank. Okay, so in simple words, they are sharing this discounting charges, right? Fine. Next what happened? On the due date, X is unable to send the amount due, and therefore Y draws a bill for 7,000, which is duly accepted by X. Okay, before learning this, normally what should happen? X discounted the bill with the bank. Okay, on the due date, bank will go and ask for Y. For how much? For 4,000 rupees. For 4,000 rupees, bank demands the Y to make the payment. Then X has to pay his cut. His cut means how much? 2,000 rupees his cut X has to pay, and then Y also taken 1960 rupees, right? So Y also add 2,000 rupees. Total 4,000 rupees should be paid by to the bank. But here the X couldn't able to pay. X is unable to pay his money. So since X is unable to pay his money, then what Y has done? Let's check here. So Y drawn another bill. Y drawn another bill on X. Okay. So Y drawn another bill on X for how much? For 7,000 rupees. Okay. See now here, for Y it will become bills receivable. So previously for Y has a bills payable worth of 4,000 because he accepted. Now Y has a bills receivable worth of 7,000, and then Y drawn on whom? Y drawn on X only. So for X it will become bills payable 7,000, and he has previously drawn a bill, right? So for him bills receivable 4,000. So this is what happened. Then again what happened? So why discount the bill for 6,600? Again, why discounted that bill? So let's call that as bills receivable 2, bill 2. Why discounted that bill for 6,600 and sent 1,300 to X? Before the bill is due, X become insolvent. Later, 25% in a rupee received from his estate. 25 paise. Yeah. So let's see here what happened. Here, Y discounted the bill with the bank, right? So this is bills receivable 2. Bills receivable 2. He discounted bill with the bank. Totally 7,000 rupees he discounted. So basically, but he received only 6,600 only. Remaining 400 rupees is a discount charges. Discount charges has to be paid by equally. Out of this 6,600 also, he has given 1,300 rupees to X. He has given 1,300 rupees to X. Now on the due date, bank will go, this, let's call this as a Kotak Bank. Okay, this Kotak Bank will go to the X to collect the 6,600 rupees. Sorry, not 6,000, 7,000 rupees. Because he discounted the second bill only. The second bill is drawn on whom? X only, right? For X it is bills payable, so bank will go to him. And then what about the bank 1, sir? So bank 1 is already paid up. How? Because here for the bank we need to pay 4,000 rupees totally, right? 4,000 rupees totally we need to pay to this bank. Let's call this as HDFC Bank. So since X is unable to pay that, that's why Y drawn a bill for how much? 6,600 rupees. Out of that, he would have paid for this bank and cleared it. He would have paid 4,000 rupees and cleared it. Okay. Let's understand it more better while solving the question. So we have to write general entries only in the books of X. Only in the books of X. Okay. In the books of X. First, X drawn a bill on Y. So for X it is bills receivable account debit 4,000 rupees to Y account 4,000 rupees. Okay. Then what happened? Second one, X discounted that bill. X discounted that bill. So X is receiving money. Bank account debit 3,920 rupees. Discounting we have already calculated how. Discount account debit 80 rupees to bills receivable account 4,000 rupees. Okay, but out of this we have transferred 50% to Y, right? So out of this 3,920 whatever we have received, 50% remittance has been remitted to the Y. So basically Y you have credited him for 4,000. Now we are transferring money to him. Half of the money you have transferred money to him. So let's debit his account. Y account debit 2,000 rupees. Okay. So in this scenario, in the accommodation only, you can consider him as your creditor. Y as your creditor. You have to pay 4,000 rupees to him. Out of that you already paid back 2,000 rupees. Okay. Y account debit 2,000 rupees. Y 2,000. So you are cancelling him as your creditor for 2000 rupees. So to cash account 1960, but you actually pay 1960. Remaining is he has to bear discounting charges. See here, to discount account 40 rupees. So here you have debited total discount 80 rupees. Here the same discount you have credited 40 rupees. So 80 minus 40. So total net you are bearing discount only 40 rupees, because you have to bear only 40 rupees, right? Okay. Now here next what happened, on the due date X is supposed to pay that his cut. X is supposed to pay 2000 rupees. See here, it's like consider Y as our creditor for 4000 rupees. Out of that we have already paid 2000 rupees to him, right? But remaining 2000 rupees we didn't able to pay, so that's why Y drawn a bill on us. Us means X, so we have accepted it. So then Y will become our creditor again. Okay, Y account debit. So write this as the normal way. So not creditor, actually debitor. Why? Because here this is also there is no undergoing sale transaction or purchase transaction, right? So here this Y will discount it to somewhere else. Anyway, we need to pay money, right? He need to pay money to us, 7000 rupees normally. But see, if there is no other transaction, he has to pay money to us. Y account debit to bills payable account. Bills payable is a liability for us, so I am crediting it. So 7000 rupees.
So once again,
Yeah.
is there any reason here he is drawn on 7,000?
Yeah. Reason you were saying?
Any reason for 7,000?
No, for the 7000, no. He can draw, that means if you are asking about the number, yeah, he can draw anything.
Okay.
So that's up to you whether to accept it or not. He can draw anything. Yeah. Now,
He actually has to pay 2,000 extra.
yeah, X has to pay 2000, right? Think only from the X point of view. So totally X got 3920. Let's delete the discount thing. So let's just say X got 4000. 2000 he has given to Y anyway. Remaining he has to pay only 2000 back to Y. So since he couldn't able to pay back, that's why he accepted the bill. That's why he accepted 7000 worth of bill. Again, what Y did? Y discounted the bill with the bank. Now we don't need that, right? Y discounted it with the bank, right? It will be written in the Y books of accounts. We are writing only X books of accounts. Okay. Then what happened? Y discounted with the bank, and then he got it for 6600. Out of that he paid 1300 to us. So we are receiving 1300 rupees from Y. So bank account debit 1300. See, normally, this is also there is no underlying transaction, right? So we are considering him Y as our debtor for 7000 rupees. So basically Y has to pay to us 7000 rupees. Out of that we deducted 1300 rupees. Bank account debit 1300 rupees. Then what about the discounting charges? Discounting charges also we need to bear, right? So totally discounting charges is 400. How did I get that 400? 7000 bill, he discounted it for 6600. That means 400 is the charges, right? So that 400 charges he has to bear. Who has to bear? This guy has to bear. So they didn't give anything else, so let's consider it as a 200 only. Okay, we have to bear 200 rupees. Okay. Okay, so basically here this will be 200 rupees only, but in case sometimes they will use the word proportionately. So here assume that there is Sam and Raj. Okay, Sam drawing a bill on Raj for 1 lakh rupees. Out of 1 lakh rupees, Raj is getting 90,000. Okay, 1000 rupees is discounting charges. Then Raj is getting 90% of the money. Why does Sam has to bear discounting charges 50%, 50%? Like if Raj is getting 90% of the money, so Raj has to bear 90% of discounting charges. That means he will bear 900 rupees, Sam will bear 1000 rupees, right? That is called proportionately. So discounting charges, if normally it is 50%, 50%, right? So in case if there is any difference, okay, then you can distribute the discounting charges proportionately according to the money they have received. And think from the X point of view, X received how much totally from the Y? From the bills receivable 1, X received 2000 rupees from the bills receivable 1. From the bills receivable 2, X is receiving 1300 rupees, okay, and then bills value is 6600. Okay, so basically you'll get 50%. So discounting charges also they has to bear 50%, 50% only here. We got 50%. Here if you got 60%, then X has to bear 60, that guy has to 40. So like that. So discounting account charges, discount account debit 200, 400 into 15%, it is 200 only, right? So 2 Y account. So Y we made in debtor, so basically 1500 is cancelled from that. Okay. Then yeah. Then what happened? Y draws a bill and we have accepted. Then Y discounted the bill, we received 1300 also. Before the bill due date, X become insolvent. Later, 25 paise in a rupee received from his estate. Okay, see totally how much we need to pay to Y. Think from the first bill. So just think how much we have received, that much only we need to pay back, right? From the first bill, X received 2000 rupees, including the discount we need to pay back. From the second bill, we have received 1500 rupees. So totally we need to pay to Y is 3500 rupees. So 3500 rupees we need to pay. But are we able to pay that much of money? No, we can't able to pay because we became insolvent. So whenever we became insolvent, the bills receivable or bills payable will become dishonored. So here we have written a general entry for when the bills are accepted, right? This will become dishonored. So when the bill is dishonored, do opposite. Bills payable, we don't need to pay anything. Bills payable account debit 7000 to Y account. So Y will become our creditor. Okay, it's fine. So I'm dishonoring that entry. Now I am paying back to him Y account debit. How much? 3500 I am supposed to pay to him. Okay. Now I just cancel this. I just written this entry whatever I have written previously. Okay. I am supposed to pay total how much? 3500. How do I got this from this? 3500. But I am paying only 25 paise. So to bank account 875 rupees. To deficiency account, whichever I cannot pay, that will be transferred to the deficiency account. 3500 minus 875, which will give you 2625. See, it's simple. Whatever they have given in the question, they might confuse you. But from the first bills receivable or from the first bill, X is receiving 2000 rupees including the discount. From the second bill, X is receiving 1500 rupees from the second bill including the discount. So we need to pay it back 3500 rupees to the Y. So Y can pay to the bank, whether it is HDFC Bank or Kotak Bank. Y has to pay because Y is the person who endorsed it, right? First we discounted it, right? Ultimately we need to pay to the Y only, but we couldn't able to pay. So check it out, those entries. If you have a doubt, get back to me. And Next question is 11 and 12. I hope I think you might have pretty much confused about this, and I want you to practice those problems. Read it question properly, write it, understand it, and then get back to me if there is any doubts. And tomorrow or next class, I'm gonna complete this chapter. Only two questions left, and then for CMA perspective. So pretty much the concept is over for CMA. So you guys can start doing the problems. You also can get back to me whenever you get a doubt in any question. Okay. Bye.
So please can you show me last entry?
This one.
Yes, sir.
It is everything is given in the institute material. In case for the future reference, you can go and then check it out. Done?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Which,
What?
which material you referring?
CA material. So you just I told so many times, but let's. You can see my screen, right? No. Okay, just a sec. So whatever the problems I'm doing from that is from CA material, right? So you can go to the CA material. So you can type BOS, like ICA. You can type. You can see something called as Boss Knowledge Portal. So click on that foundation course, and then Principle and Practice of Accounting, May 2021 exams. Then Bills of Exchange. And then you can also go for CMA study material, which is applicable for you is 2016. Just type in the Google CMA study material 2016, and then financial accounting. It will open. In this Bills of Exchange is there. Whatever the concepts we have discussed exactly is there for you also. Okay. The questions they can ask. This concept is same. They can ask the questions in a different way. So pretty much complicated things we are discussing in CA. So same things will be there in CMA also. So you can do both CA and CMA material. First, if you are able to do CA material, CMA material, the basic questions are there. You can skip it. You can just check it. You don't need to do it every question. Okay. If you see the entries, you will only understand. If you are assuming that you understood everything, whatever teaching in the class, and you are able to do CA foundation material. Okay, then just do only complicated questions, big questions. If you are from CMA, then get back to me if you are unable to do that. Okay, so basically make sure that you do every problem in your book, you complete chapter by chapter, and if you are going to accumulate it until the exams, whether you are CA or CMA, it's not possible. You have to do whenever the chapter is over. Okay, thank you, bye. You can see.